is Inside. Thanks to Hoop Dirt and Dr. Dish for the support of the show. But hey, I want to welcome in Mike Sotsky from Harvard University. What's up, man?
Richie, thanks so much for having me. Appreciate it.
I'm glad to have you, man. How long have I known you? 7, 8 years now?
Scary to think, but I think that's actually accurate. Yeah.
Yeah, you used to be like the low man on the totem pole over at Duke University, and you were the manager back in the day when I was working basketball camp, and now you're doing big things over at Harvard. I'm real happy for you.
I appreciate it. Thank you. And I've been very lucky, been around a lot of good people and been at good places. You just mentioned 2 of them, and been really honored, and it's been a fun ride.
Awesome, man. Well, how did all that time as a manager under Coach K prepare you to be the assistant coach now at Harvard University?
Well, it's a great question and a hard one to answer in some respects, because so many of the things that you learn when you're, at a program like Duke and working with someone like Coach K and all of the support staff there, you don't even realize you're learning it, because it's a kind of standard of performance and a way that all things are to be done with a level of professionalism and attention to detail. And so there are kind of the obvious things like the technical knowledge. I had to learn sports code since I was interested in being, a coach. They recommended that, and worked with Kevin Cullen, who's the video coordinator there. And he kind of taught me that. And of course, Kevin from camp, in that context. But then, everything from balancing the time management and, the various roles and responsibilities that you have as a Duke manager, and then how that's applied in a lot of ways to my job here at Harvard.
Well, everybody talks about, and I thought this too when I was coaching, that no great program comes without great support staff and managers. And at Duke, you guys were phenomenal at that. I would imagine you're overseeing the managers there at Harvard as well?
Yes, me along with our Director of Operations, Casey Brin.
Okay, what are some of their jobs and responsibilities, similar to what you had at Duke?
Yeah, many of them are. So there are kind of the obvious things, the on the court, the Gatorade and the wiping the floor when guys fall and all of that kind of stuff. But then we have several managers that have really diverse interests, that they can contribute to the program, sort of different things. So one is really analytics driven. He's trying to work in a NBA front office at some point, so he does some lineup stats for us. We have another manager who's really interested in media and social media. And so she has kind of advised us on that, and actually worked in media prior to coming to Harvard. So, when you're at a place like Harvard, we always say, you really do get the best and the brightest, and we try to align, the managers just like we would do coaches or support staff, as you mentioned, with what their areas of interest and what their areas of strength are. And I think you hit it right on the head in terms of the importance of a good support staff, the managers being part of that, to the overall, program. And we feel really lucky with the managers that we have here.
I'm sure you're doing a great job with it, because I saw what you did at Duke, and there's no better set of managers than I've seen than what you guys did there. And you worked yourself up from a freshman up to a senior, and now you've seen what it's done for you. I mean, how can being a manager help you to lead to the job that you have today?
Yeah, well, those kind of skills that you brought up before, and the roles and responsibilities, that's definitely part of it. But you make so many connections. The fact that we're doing this right now being a perfect example of, 6, 7, 8 years ago, I would have never thought, that I'd be in this position. And, it's amazing where the game can take you in that regard. I don't know if you even know this, but, Coach Spatola, who is the director of operations at Duke, who hired me as a manager there when I was a freshman, now does, of course, games for ESPN. He actually called our Princeton game earlier this year, which was amazing. And he's an awesome guy, as you know, and he's been really helpful for me professionally that entire period of time. But it was sort of just an amazing pinch yourself moment of the many places that this game can take you. And specific to the managing part, I do think that the balancing of all of those different roles and responsibilities, but also doing them with, humility that's required for some of the tasks is a really important skill. And Billis, always jokes on Twitter, the hardest working people in showbiz. I think there's a lot of truth to that. And that shine is cool to see.
And I would agree with that. Again, like, no good coach really comes out of it without great staff, great managers. I appreciate what you did when I saw you working. I'm sure Tommy Amaker there at Harvard appreciates what you're doing there. So, hey, we need more guys like you that work their way up the ladder doing it that way.
Well, I appreciate the compliment. And like I said, I mean, you just mentioned, Coach Amaker and all of the guys at Duke. I mean, that I've been very lucky to be around great people and people who have been really supportive and who have taught and have shown the way more than, we always use an expression at Harvard, your actions speak so loud I cannot hear what you say. And I've always felt that, to be a really apt expression. And I've just been lucky to be around people that have kind of shown me how to do it. And I just try my best to follow that model.
That's Mike Sotsky from Harvard University. Hey, man, I really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you so much, and look forward to catching up soon again.
You bet. Hey, anybody that mentions this show to Dr. Dish, the best shooting machine in the world, is going to receive an exclusive discount on one of their products. Mike, you're the man. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Richie.